The guards at the Black Mountain Temple were stunned when the demon slashing sword technique was activated. Yan Qixia demonstrated the demon slashing sword technique. Surrounding it served like a cyan translucent trap to the demons, and if they moved, it would slash through them. He was determined not to let them hinder his senior. The lion-like demon yelled at the guards, asking why they were all staring, and vehemently screamed for them to attack him. The guards then coordinated their attacks with their spears at the same time. Gao Miao quickly moved as he observed the situation. When wielding absolute power in the martial arts or fantasy world, no matter how many small demons there are, they are all useless. Gao Miao unleashed a massive strike directed at the guards, which ripped them apart. As a result, there was a resounding bang, and the light exploded. Gao Miao then descended to the ground, where the next one was inside the palace. He looked up, surprised, and began as the mountain temple shook to its core. The terrifying Black Mountain Demon King appeared in the sky, disregarding a skinny and boned individual. While the Demon King calmly raised its fist to Yan Qixia approached the Black Mountain Demon King with his sword, and suddenly a massive translucent shield blocked the first attack of the Demon King, providing protection to Yan Qixia. He was shocked to see the shield shatter Yan Qixia's sword and shield in front of his eyes. The shattered pieces of the shield almost hit Yan Qixia on his face, but suddenly, a spirit tree shield was activated, providing protection for him again. A resounding blow emerged as a result of the attack, and Yan Qixia fell back. Fortunately, Gao Miao caught him with his vine-like hand and berated him for being careless. Gao Miao pointed out that Yan Qixia did not realize the gap in their strength between him and his opponent, which would have killed him if he hadn't been saved in time. Yan Qixia responded that slaying demons and evil was part of his generation's monk's job, and if he died because of it, he would have no regrets. This irritated Gao Miao even more and made him speechless. Gao Miao then looked up and left Yan Qixia because he couldn't explain to such a stubborn man besides dealing with the Black Mountain Demon King. He instructed Yan Qixia to take care of those demons and not let them escape. The demons cheered that there was no one who could defeat their king, and they were amazed as it had been a long time to see the heroic figure of their king. The demons were still trapped in the cyan translucent strip at the demon slashing sword technique. The wolf-like demon, who was also trapped in the cyan translucent strip, reminisced that it had been a long time since he had gotten injured. Thanks to the Dryad and that bastard Taoist priest, he had tasted fresh blood again. Once the king made a move, they would definitely die, and later he would have those female ghosts in his palace. Gao Miao inquired if he was the Black Mountain Demon King, the one who wanted his Ni Xiaoqian and made his female ghosts tense once they heard his name. The Black Mountain Demon King told him that Ni Xiaoqian belonged to the king. Its claw flickered with purplish energy, and it launched a massive beacon of purplish light so powerful that it ripped anything passing through it to shreds. But when the Black Mountain Demon King's attack missed, he admitted that Gao Miao's speed was comparable to his and wondered where his confidence came from to go against the Demon King. Gao Miao responded confidently that it was not only his speed that was fast. While carrying Yan Qixia, he then lifted his palm, and a golden energy emerged around it. He also had parallel power directed at the Black Mountain Demon King. While the Black Mountain Demon King released a massive sword with a purplish strike for those who offended the dignity of the king, the massive sword met and collided with the golden power of Gao Miao's palms and slashed through it. When Gao Miao noticed that the Black Mountain Demon King wanted to cut him, he then enclosed himself in a golden sphere to block its attack. Then he chanted an ancient Buddhist mantra, Om Manu Padme Hum, which blew him up, blasting that bastard to death. This baffled the demons that were in the cyan translucent strip by Yan Qixia, as they wondered how could a demon's ability gain the blessing of a Buddha's light, and not only his Dryad, but a Bodhi tree was transformed into a human. While Gao Miao was surrounded by its golden glow, he then responded that Gao Miao is just an honorable Buddha tree, and that purifying him would make him weaker by 3 points, but now after he fused with the Bodhi Buddha tree, he was stronger than ever before. The ancient Buddhist mantra hit the Black Mountain Demon King, but he remained calm. Its claw started to have a golden glow as he referred to it as a Buddha light. Gao Miao grinned as he responded that it was the Bodhi Buddha light that could purify demon power. Now that the Black Mountain Demon King had been purified by it and its demon body had been shed off, he mockingly told him to stand still and not move because Grandpa Gao Miao was merciful. He would purify him into a spiritual stone with Buddha nature, and his demon power would be gone. The Black King Demon King was shocked. He screamed that he hadn't felt this disgusting power in a long time, and the boulders around him lifted. When the Black Mountain Demon King flew with boulders surrounded by his purplish energy, he launched them towards Gao Miao. However, Gao Miao raised his palm and unleashed a powerful counterattack of golden light, tearing the boulders into pieces and blasting them away. The Black Mountain Demon King suddenly appeared through the smoke, his fist reaching for Gao Miao. Although the Black Mountain Demon King's melee combat instinct was not bad, Gao Miao had seen through it. Although the Black Mountain Demon King had 500 years more demon power than him, since his Buddha's light could restrain demon power but he couldn't get close to him, he formed a golden honeycomb shield to block the Black Mountain Demon King. Yin Qixia was amazed as he witnessed the fight and saw that the power of the Black Mountain Demon King was constantly being purified. The demons trapped in Cyan screamed as they were surprised that the Buddha light's restraint on demon power was too severe and dense. Gao Miao wondered how it could be, while the purplish fist power of the Black Mountain Demon King collided with his shield with a resounding bang. The ominous Black Mountain Demon King managed to break Gao Miao's golden honeycomb shield with a fierce blow, which caused Gao Miao to fall quickly and dash through the boulders, eventually collapsing to the ground with a blitz of purplish energy from the Black Mountain Demon King, causing a loud rumble. As the smoke of the ferocious attack began to fade, Gao Miao appeared in the haze and yelled again, referring to the intense fight. He thought to himself that the demon power was so strange that even the Buddha's light couldn't immediately disperse it. The Black Mountain Demon King, with a glowing fist, started to crawl as a result of the Buddha light. Gao Miao thought to himself that the Demon King wasn't really afraid that all of his demon power was getting purified. With his clothes ripped from the attack, a circular dark purplish mark was embedded on Gao Miao's chest. He was shocked by what kind of strange demon power it was. All the places where he was hit had been contaminated by this demon power. He brushed it off, thinking that it won't grow or recover quickly. In the original plot's last boss, the Black Mountain Demon King was really hard to deal with. Gao Miao clenched his fist and yelled again as he charged towards the Demon King, resulting in a loud bang. The fierce Black Mountain Demon King also charged him. The sky with floating boulders became their battlefield as they fought relentlessly against each other. Their attacks left a rumbling blow and a spectacular display of their golden, cyan, and purplish energy. Their fight was so powerful that even those watching from a distance were unable to escape the after effects of the battle. Even the most skilled Taoist priest, Yin Qixia, struggled to block it with his swords. The onlookers' demons couldn't withstand the sheer power of their attacks that created shockwaves rippling across the battlefield. Some flew to take cover while others were hit. They continued to fight relentlessly, and the resounding impact of their strikes echoed throughout the battlefield, with their energies colliding in a spectacular display of gold, cyan, and purple hues as they battled for dominance. The Black Mountain Demon King landed a blow on Gao Miao that sent him flying towards the tower as he told him that even if the Buddha's light shines on him, it is hard to prevent his tree body from rotting. Even though Gao Miao's body was covered in bruises and dark demon marks, he fiercely responded to him, telling him to take a look at his own body. Half of his demon power had been purified and the other half had become a golden Buddha statue. But he thought to himself that this demon power was so strange that even the Buddha's light couldn't immediately disperse it. He then wondered who would be the first one unable to hold on. He continued to tease the Demon King while launching his golden blow and yelled vehemently, asking whether he could still retain the position of the Demon King in the future. With a swift and powerful strike, Gao Miao delivered a blow of gleaming gold to the Demon King, causing the formidable creature to soar through the air and smash through the towering walls of its very own temple. As soon as he fell to the ground, the Demon King quickly recovered and advanced towards Gao Miao, landing his fist on Gao Miao's chest. As the moon radiantly illuminated the forest, a voice suddenly emerged from the darkness, urging them to savor the meal slowly with a light-hearted chuckle. Nie Xiaoqin sat serenely beside a pond with an abundance of lively fishes, feeding and conversing with them. As she gazed at the peaceful and harmonious scene, her mind drifted towards the thought of how wonderful it would be if humans, ghosts, and demons could live happily like these fishes. Nie Xiaoqin lifted her gaze towards the celestial brilliance of the moon and thought of the old monster, hoping that it was safe and sound and would return alive. At the Black Mountain Temple, buildings and boulders were torn apart, leaving a scene of destruction in their wake. Smoke billowed up from the ground, and amidst the chaos, a voice could be heard, filled with curses and anger. Gao Miao slumped onto a boulder, looking utterly drained and covered in purplish demon power. On the other hand, the Demon King was now aglow with fiery energy and taunted Gao Miao, saying that his Buddha's light was dim and had he used up all his oil, Gao Miao got up, acknowledging that while his Buddha's light was equivalent to 2,000 years of demon power compared to the Demon King's 2,500 years, it was indeed a little weaker in long-term combat. He continued that at least now 2,000 years of the demon power had been purified by him, and only 500 years of demon power were left. He wondered if it was worth it. The fiery Demon King responded that he did not need to worry about this. What he had lost would be paid double by Nie Xiaoqian. As for him, the Demon King proceeded to hurl a colossal spear charged with electrifying purplish energy, directing it fiercely towards Gao Miao as he yelled that he would die now by this spear. Yan Qixia screamed for his senior as he rushed forward to rescue him, only to be confronted by a horde of ferocious demons whose fierce glares and menacing growls meant that he would need to go through them first. A surge of anger washed over Gao Miao as they questioned whether the Black Mountain Demon King thought he had already won. "It's futile," he screamed, while adding that a colossal spear rushed towards its intended target with a burst of speed and force. As smoke billowed up from the ground, Gao Miao was pierced through his chest by the colossal spear of the Demon King. However, he acknowledged that Gao Miao was a tenacious life force, as he had still not been beaten back to his original form. The Taoist priest Yan Qixia rushed forward, screaming in disbelief for his senior, but was held back by a huge lion-like demon. The colossal spear was pulled out from Gao Miao's chest. The Demon King said that since he could not die with one blow, he would strike again. Suddenly, a long-stemmed woody vine emerged from the ground, making a rumbling sound as rock fragments blew all over. The Demon King was surprised to see the human-like tree wood standing high, confused, and wondering where this came from. While Yan Qixia was being held by the lion-like demon and surrounded by other demons, his universal pouch glowed brightly. The universal pouch glowed towards the 1,000-year-old tree, which had clenched its fist. Fortunately, Gao Miao needed to protect the old Yan and asked him to bring the 1,000-year-old tree from the tree governor's palace in the universal pouch. Otherwise, Gao Miao might have run into some difficulties this time. The Gao Miao inside the 1,000-year-old tree asked the Black Mountain what the relationship was between him and Nie Xiaoqian and why he wanted her so badly. The universal pouch, which can store large objects in a smaller one, was really useful, but only a Taoist could use it with Taoism. Otherwise, he would have gotten one as well. The Gao Miao arrogantly asked the Demon King to tell him, and then he could let him die in peace. The Demon King screamed in disbelief as that was impossible and asked Gao Miao what power was that. The Demon King was well aware of the Dryad's family-gifted power, but wondered how could the Dryad have two extraordinary trees as their original form. The Demon King left puzzled, still ignoring Gao Miao's question about Nie Xiaoqian, which made him upset. Gao Miao responded that if the Demon King refused to say it, then he would ask Nie Xiaoqian once he returned. Suddenly, Gao Miao launched an attack where a jade-colored strike hit the Demon King, and he yelled to give up, since most of his demon power had been purified, and now there were only about 500 years of demon power left. He was confident he could beat the Demon King. The Demon King screamed that he refused to accept defeat as he got hit by the strike directed towards him, which tore him apart. As a result, a body emerged and fell from the sky after his body turned half. Gao Miao got curious as something fell out of the body's reach with its woody vine. When the body finally came down, he uttered that the person inside the Black Mountain Demon King's body was Nie Xiaoqian, which shocked him to his core. While the other demons were shell-shocked to witness their Demon King's loss, once the king died, the Black Mountain curse inside their bodies would go completely out of control. They screamed in panic as black worms spiraled out of their bodies, an enlargement of nodules could be observed all over. Shortly after, their demon bodies burst as they screamed in pain. The Taoist priest Yan Qixia protected himself with a golden barrier from the explosion of the demons' bodies and wondered what kind of forbidden curse the Black Mountain Demon King planted in their bodies that automatically triggered once he died. The moon was covered by thin clouds but still managed to radiate. Nie Xiaoqian was amazed that her old monster did manage to kill her, as she saw herself lying on the ground. Gao Miao was worried as he tapped Nie Xiaoqian and asked what kind of thing was a trivial matter, but why does she look exactly like her, and what was their relationship? He wondered if she was alright after he killed her. Nie Xiaoqian looked back and smiled, while Gao Miao continued to explain that his attack almost beat her to dust, but after he saw her appearance, Gao Miao forcibly detained her soul in the body again and wondered if that would have any effect on her. Nie Xiaoqian calmly explained that she thought that he could never beat her, so she had been reluctant to tell Gao Miao some things so as to not worry him anymore, but she didn't expect him to be so strong. "So, what exactly was your relationship with her?" Gao Miao adamantly asked her. After some time, Gao Miao was surprised to learn that both of them were actually the same person but not the same demon. To his surprise, he called up Fatsy to wake up and come out. Still rubbing its partially open eyes, Nan awoke and responded to Gao Miao. Nie Xiaoqian told him she didn't know the exact details. When she died and turned into a ghost, she suddenly awakened a memory. She continued, saying that her memory showed that she was just a strand of the Black Mountain Demon King's soul that was thrown into a human mother's womb, went through 10 months of pregnancy, and was born a human. Nana chimed in that this was such an unexpected thing to happen because many TOG mission teams have come to this world, but none of them have heard this news from Nie Xiaoqian. Nana wondered if there are any special conditions needed to trigger this message, such as a favorability degree or plot change. Nie Xiaoqian went on to say that she knew one day the Black Mountain Demon King would come to find her to come to terms with his state of mind, and that's why she never dared to face her feelings. Nana's eyes sparkled, and its wings fluttered while Gao Miao blushed. The mission to steal Nie Xiaoqian's heart was now complete, as stated in the pink pop-out screen, where its reward was awarded with 2 virtual sources. Nana continued that this is why, even though Nie Xiaoqian looked like she'd fallen in love, the mission was still incomplete, while Gao Miao continued to blush because this was the first time he was confessed to by a girl, and it was in the Black Mountain Demon King's morning hall, which felt really weird. Nana thought that it must be because of the Black Mountain Demon King's existence that she was unable to open the door to her heart, and now that the Black Mountain Demon King is dead, Nie Xiaoqian has completely opened her heart to Gao Miao. A few days later, in a candlelit room, Nie Xiaoqian stepped in with her clothes on the floor, and even though the Black Mountain Demon King and she were one, they each had different circumstances and attained different lives. She then walked towards her body and went on to say that she was transformed by a thread of her remnant soul and was born into a rich and prosperous family on the darkest day of the darkest month in the darkest year, then became a ghost after death. As she moved close to the body with a glowing stone in her hand, she continued that she absorbed the spirit of heaven and earth, the essence of the sun and the moon, and cultivated them for thousands of years to form her spirit. Nie Xiaoqian's soul entered the body as she wanted to devour her and make her soul complete, but she got killed by the old monster instead. Now, her soul lost its consciousness, and if she devoured her, she would be able to increase her strength. However, when her soul finally entered, the candle lost its light when she learned that the consciousness of the Black Mountain Demon King had not been completely obliterated and that there were still some traces of it left. She was shocked to know how that was possible and called for the old monster for help. Gao Miao stood in front of the incense and wondered about Nie Xiaoqian's statement that it would take only half an incense stick's time to fuse with the Black Mountain Demon King's unconscious soul. However, it had already been an entire incense stick's time. Suddenly, the door creaked open and Gao Miao let out a gasp of surprise as a massive, giant black fist clenched in his direction. Gao Miao, who had a golden mark on his forehead, quickly activated his spirit tree shield to block the attack. Despite this, he was still sent flying backward by the powerful blow that managed to break through his shield. He crumpled to the ground and looked into the distance, where he saw Nie Xiaoqian's shadow. He was caught off guard and upset that his spirit tree shield, which was coated with Buddha lights, was broken by a single punch. He wondered how much cultivation energy was behind the attack. Was it 3,000 or 4,000 years? Nie Xiaoqian emerged from the door with dark energy oozing around her, leaving Gao Miao baffled to know that she was the Black Mountain Demon King. With a sinister smile, Nie Xiaoqian mockingly reminded him that he didn't expect this, did he? Not only had the Black Mountain Demon King returned, but he was also stronger than ever. The Black Mountain Demon King had been planning this for many years. He created the Pearl of Eternal Soul, which could store multiple souls and keep them immortal. It was originally created to go against him, but he never expected to have to use it for this purpose. Worried, Gao Miao asked about Nie Xiaoqian. A voice inquired about the sudden gathering of immense evil energy in the tree governor's palace, which surprised Gao Miao as he looked up. The Taoist priest Yan Qixia landed swiftly on the ground. He recognized the Black Mountain Demon King in Nie Xiaoqian and was baffled by how she could still be alive, as well as concerned about her tremendous energy. Nie Xiaoqian laughed sinisterly as she unleashed massive amounts of black energy with purple hues all over it, which Yan Qixia and Gao Miao blocked with their hands. Yan Qixia noted that she was much stronger than before. Gao Miao grabbed the Taoist priest's clothes and told him to stop talking nonsense, then demanded to know what was going on with Nie Xiaoqian right now. He quickly put his hands on his forehead to investigate as golden rays emerged, and he responded that Miss Nye Xiaoqian's ghost spirit and a part of the Black Mountain Demon King's soul were currently in the same body. He wondered what was going on. Suddenly, a golden third eye fully emerged on the Taoist priest's forehead, and he continued to wonder why there was still a small part of her soul that had not yet been destroyed, and why it was currently pressing against Miss Xiaoqian's ghost spirit. When the Taoist priest could finally see through it, Nye Xiaoqian stood there smiling sinisterly, with a circling dark reddish aura on her chest. He explained that deep down inside the Black Mountain Demon King's body, there was a pearl protecting a piece of soul, keeping it immortal. That's why that part of the soul wasn't destroyed yet. Nye Xiaoqian diverted her attention to the Taoist priest, who seemed to know too much, and wanted to kill him first before she would kill the Dryad. The brave Taoist priest was aware of the frightening amount of evil energy, but it was his duty to fight against evil. Yin Qixia was always ready for a fight, and he drew his sword, waiting to be attacked. But he was surprised when Gao Miao quickly drew him out while grabbing his back and warned him not to fight her because his small build would not be able to withstand a small punch from her. Gao Miao berated him, asking who he would look for to save Xiaoqian if he died. She quickly asked what they needed to do now to enable Xiaoqian to recover. Nye Xiaoqian, a swirl of dark energy, flew after Gao Miao's golden aura. The ghosts of the Tree Governor's Palace were concerned and worried about their master's altercation with Nye Xiaoqian. When Gao Miao escaped the palace with Taoist priest Yin Qixia while holding a red talisman, he said that the process to break the seal was extremely complex. But when they found a chance, Gao Miao just had to put this talisman on her, and only then would he have enough time to break the seal. He subsequently gave the talisman to Gao Miao. Suddenly, Gao Miao and the Taoist priest came to a halt in midair when Nye Xiaoqian caught up with them and yelled that there was nowhere for them to run. The full moon cast its light upon the red talisman that Gao Miao was holding, which Nye Xiaoqian noticed. She confidently replied that there was no way she would give him a chance to put a talisman on her. Gao Miao instructed Yin Qixia that he should return first while facing Nye Xiaoqian. The Taoist priest agreed and advised him to be careful while wrapping his fist and swiftly turning around. Gao Miao called for Nana and instructed it to come out and gave him the Owen's card. Nana emerged quickly. He gracefully placed his feet on the ground while Nana stood by his side, surrounded by trees. The pop-pink screen emerged in front of them, showing 2 cards. Gao Miao expressed that the Black Mountain Demon King made one mistake and that he didn't have to give him another chance. He gazed and said to Nana that the 2 new virtual sources they just got hadn't even warmed their seats yet, but one of them was already leaving. While Nana panicked internally because a virtual source was so hard to come by and he wanted Gao Miao to try his amazing talking skills to see if he could persuade Nye Xiaoqian's heart to change and allow her to defeat the Black Mountain Demon King, Nana responded enthusiastically to Gao Miao, fully supporting his decision and definitely not letting any natives bully them. Gao Miao pressed Owen's card on the pop-out screen. He then successfully transformed into Owen's character and expressed his determination to beat her up until his fingers couldn't move so that he would be able to put the talisman on her whenever he liked. Nye Xiaoqian landed on the ground and questioned his remarks of beating her up until she couldn't move her fingers. Even though she didn't understand what happened to his body, her oozing dark energy that caused disruptions to the nearby rocks and trees implied that he might not even understand what he was saying at the time. She was blown off by a punch to the chest from Gao Miao, who then asked her in mockery what she was smiling for. In shock over how that was possible, Nye Xiaoqian spit blood. Determined, Gao Miao responded that his time was valuable and that he was also sorry. He wasted no time in moving closer to Nye Xiaoqian and struck her again, this time with a powerful blow to the chest, causing her to break through the trees and disrupt everything nearby. While Nye Xiaoqian was still stunned, Gao Miao suddenly emerged in front of her with swirling fiery eyes and energy all around him and was prepared to unleash another attack. She was struck in the face by Gao Miao, leaving visible bruises. While Nye Xiaoqian feared another attack, Gao Miao clenched his fist as it built a radiant of rippled reddish energy. He then unleashed a massive strike, resulting in a powerful blow that destroyed everything in its path. While Nye Xiaoqian was on the ground, Gao Miao was already preparing for another merciless strike, which caught Nye Xiaoqian off guard. He then released a massive beacon of reddish energy at her, causing Nye Xiaoqian to crumble to the ground with the rocks. Gao Miao clenched his fist again as it built a sparkly golden mist with swirling reddish energy and yelled at her to taste his new technique. He threw it towards her, releasing a huge ball of energy. A spiral of dark energy emerged from the ground when Nye Xiaoqian screamed. She called for the dryad while she activated the power of the Demon King and the Mountain of God's anger as she floated behind a gigantic dark entity of the Demon King with gleaming eyes. Despite the visible bruises on her face, Nye Xiaoqian fought back strongly. A massive ball of reddish-golden energy was moving close to the Black Mountain as it rose to the sky, preparing to conquer everything. The two extremely potent energies met and collided, causing a luminous blast with flying debris all around and a loud rumble. Smoke covered the ground. When it slowly dissipated, Nye Xiaoqian was revealed lying on the bedrock. She was lying there with her dress torn, and her body was covered in immediately apparent bruises. Gao Meo's shadow appeared close to her and reminded her that he had previously threatened to beat her until she was unable to move her fingers. Nye Xiaoqian gradually opened her eyes. Gao Miao went on to say that he never goes back on his words.